Okay, we'll get started. Don't forget to silence your gadgets. Any paperwork goes to Mr. Curran. And he's going to do the invocation. Mr. Pitchford's going to do the pledge. If you wish to join us, please rise.
You are our wisdom and our strength. We ask for your guiding hand to lead us through this meeting. May we approach our tasks with wisdom, and may we approach our members with respect. May our conduct create an environment of cooperation and kindness. Thank you for helping us to accomplish our work this day. We ask these blessings in your powerful name. Amen.
Please follow me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Bell,
Here.
Curran,
Here.
Freeling, Harrison,
Here.
Engelmann,
Here.
Majerick,
Here.
Here, Pittsburgh,
Here.
Ballrath,
Here.
Werfel, Yarborough, Elliott.
Here.
Mr. Chair, you have 11 present, 1 absent.
Thank you. The minutes from last week. Anyone want to move those along?
I'll make a motion, we approve the meeting minutes.
Moved by Pitchford, supported by Ott. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Minutes are approved. Madam Clerk, last I knew we had 3 communications.
You received an email from Livingston County Board of Commissioners regarding a letter sent to the Area of Agency of Aging, 1B, AAA, regarding their concerns with discipline of DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusions, received on August 10th. A resolution from Charlotte Boyd County Board of Commissioners opposing Michigan Legislature bills, Senate Bill 299, Senate Bill 300, House Bill 4479, and House Bill 4480, received on August 14th. An email from Karen, I'm going to spell this last name, Cibulskis, from the NPL Deletion Coordinator and IC Review and the Superfund and Emergency Management Division, US EPA Region 5, issuing you a notice in the Federal Register finalizing the deletion of radiation operable unit cleanup at the aircraft opponents Superfund site located in Benton Harbor, Michigan, received on August 16th. That's all.
Mr. Zoller.
I couldn't pronounce that one.
Okay, thank you. You did very well with that. We're at the point where we have public comments, but I mean, about the agenda resolutions, but before we do that, I want to take care of a housekeeping detail. On your agenda, there's a reference to a closed session under the attorney-client privilege. We won't need that closed session, but since it's on there, we should amend the agenda to remove it. Is there a motion to remove the closed session from the agenda? Moved by Hinkleman. Supported by Bell. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Amended as agenda. Now, public comments about resolutions. We don't have any added resolutions, so it's 3 resolutions. Anyone have anything to say about those? Okay. Is there a motion to approve the consent calendar? Moved by Volrath, supported by Pitchford. Any discussion? Hearing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Curran,
Yes.
Harrison,
Yes.
Engelmann.
Yes.
Majerick.
Yes.
Yes. Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Ballrath.
Yes.
Werfel.
Yes.
Yarborough.
Yes.
Bell.
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, you have 11 yeas.
Thank you. I believe the PHS committee has some recommendations on appointments.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have three names to present to you today. One for the Mental Health Authority, that's Alan Edlifson. This would be for a term that would run from October 1 of 23 to March 31st of 2026. We still have vacancies on the Mental Health Board, so if you are aware of anyone who might be interested, we're still recruiting for some replacements. And then the next two are appointments to the Workforce Board. One is a consumer, and then the other is a representative from Michigan Rehab Services. Mr. Samuel's term would expire in 2025, end of December. And then Mr. Fiore he's the Michigan Rehab individual. His term would expire December 31st of 2026. And so I would make the motion to appoint all those three individuals to the respective boards.
Is there support?
Support.
Moved by Harrison, supported by Pitchford. Any discussion? Do you need the names again, Madam Clerk? Okay. No discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The appointments are approved then for Misters Edelson, Samuel, and Fiore, effective immediately. Next, committee reports. We'll start with PHS.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We met this morning and had a number of items. We approved 2 advanced step hire requests, both for the health department, vacant positions and highly qualified individuals. So we did approve those. We have a resolution from the health department, overdose awareness day, coming up in recovery month. So you'll see that at the 24th meeting. We also have a couple resolutions that are coming from the Parks Department. One on the scrap tire cleanup grant. This is money coming to support collection and disposal of scrap tires. And then we've done that for the past 12 years, so that's really nothing new. And then another grant application. This is in response to Rotary for the Silver Beach project. And so then also a point of information for the other commissioners. All 3 members of the Personnel Committee have pledged to contribute for the fundraising effort on part of the Parks Department. And Mr. Majeric has already gone online and made his contribution. So a very high standard for everyone to meet. So we also talked about the number of individuals coming from the courthouse regarding compensation. So we've started that process to look at the historical perspective of that. We'll be gathering some information about that and looking at some type of recommendation coming to the board at a future date. And then we had a good report from Jill Adams regarding the Parks Department. The revenue at Silver Beach is up about 2% over 22, which is kind of our most regular one we want to compare against. So things have gone quite well. She talked about a number of projects, both at Silver Beach as well as other parks, some capital needs that probably should rise for consideration by the board during the budget process. So good meeting, and then that concluded our business.
Question. Did you talk anything about the Madeline Bertrand sculpture?
We did not. It has been recovered.
I saw that.
Okay, and so the last time we talked about that, it was in the process. There were some repairs that needed to be made, and then to reestablish it.
Could I read that the artist was still alive?
That I don't recall.
I think I remember seeing that. Yes,
I don't know who it was.
yeah. Thank you.
Other questions for PHS? Okay, Mr. Admin Chair.
Thanks, Mac. First in to see us this morning was our Animal Control Director, Ashley Herr, and Commissioner Woolfrol would like to report out on that.
Thank you. First thing Ashley told us about was she is at full staff, and some of her new staff is just actively getting even more volunteers. So not only is she at full staff, she's got lots of volunteers. So she was very happy this morning. She did say though that she does still have a number of dogs running through the shelter and in and out. And there's quite a few still in there. Right now, it looks like 24 altered and 83 unaltered. So, but adoption efforts are going well. She did say they just participated in a Ducks to the Rescue, a practice run that's gonna be happening, another fundraiser, but the event was very successful and it was a great day out for the dogs. Dogs even got in the water with the little rubber ducks and stuff like that. So the dogs got a lot of socialization that day. They had a great adoption event at the Glad Peach Festival a couple of weeks ago, so that was also good. Couple of things coming up is they've got a shot clinic coming up on September 9th. And the trunk or treat is scheduled right now for October 28th. So plan on that. That's my report.
Thank you, Julie. Next in to see us was Judge Mayfield and Carrie Smetanka Haney. Talked to us about the staffing challenges at the court, the shortages that they have. Asked if the committee had any questions on the juvenile center design that was reported to the board. And then talked to us a little bit about the juvenile clean slate. She also, Judge Mayfield shared with us an email that she sent to her staff addressing the court employees that came to our night meeting and addressed us. That how she is addressing that and taking care of that internally. After the judge, we had Greg Sanders and Chuck Height in to see us, and Commissioner Volrath would like to report out on that.
I will report everything I can see here, and I brought the wrong glasses, so I'm not seeing well, but you all see in your email this week, our sheriff's report. Under Sheriff Chuck and Chief Deputy Greg were in to see us, and one of the numbers that stood out to me was over 2,700 calls for service during the month of July. That's 90 a day, every day for the whole month, so that's a lot of calls and a lot of action handled by the sheriff's department. He's got the usual number of pictures and numbers and things, and a couple of the highlights that I can see is Gail Hayduke is retired after 21 years, and she worked for the Detective Bureau in the Sheriff's Department, and she was a very important member of that staff, keeping things running. Those people always are the top. They know what's going on in the whole office all the time, every time. The Sheriff's Department also, along with the Benton Harbor Exchange Club, hosted a 2-day training class on identifying and intercepting school violence through cyber investigation. Detective Richard Wystocki from the Naperville Police Department and High Crime Unit instructed this training. And then the National Night Out a couple of weeks ago, August 1st. It's been a big event each year around Niles and Benton Harbor areas, and is expanding some of the smaller communities now too, who have taken up that initiative and getting out and meeting and being with the community in a fun event. So look at the email. There's a lot of information in there. Read it over, and Sheriff always provides plenty of pictures. Thanks.
Thank you, Dave. We're gonna have a few resolutions for you the next time we get together. Resolution ending in 8272. This is for the family court to apply for a grant to address the additional costs for being 17-year-olds being added to the system. The family court estimates that it will cost approximately $346,670 to take on those additional duties. So that is the amount of the request being sent to the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. Resolution ending in 8274. This is a traffic study that was done. This is to put in a four-way stop at Hollywood Road and Linco Road in Royalton Township. So the road department, the state police did their study and determined that they need a four-way stop there because of crash data. The last resolution ending in 8275, this is a speed study requested by Lake Charter Township. And it will take Gas Road from Bridgman city limits to Snow Road from 55 miles per hour down to 45 miles per hour. So you will see those the next time we get together. Lastly, we had Mac and Brian in to see us. Brian talked to us about the juvenile center and the hospital over in Marion Center. You know, we need to do something with that, especially the water and the sewer. So he provided us with information from Whiteman to do a study to figure out what it's gonna take and cost to sink wells, get us off of that water tower because of the requirements that takes. So there'll be 2 wells sunk, and then to put in 2 septic systems and get off the sewer system. Because of, if any of those go down right now, we're gonna have to react to a crisis rather than anticipating and fixing it now. So Brian, if you have anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, so the way this will flow is we will seek a waiver from Finance Committee. We'll then seek an authorizing resolution out of admin to engage Whiteman. This is something we'll be working on over the next couple of weeks. I alerted admin to what we're doing and why we're doing it. And if any of the board has questions just on background, it's kind of a dated system. We're happy to provide that information. Otherwise, you'll see it flowing over the next couple of weeks.
Thanks, Brian. And that's our report.
Very good, Madam Chair of Finance.
Thank you. Administrator Dissett and our chair, Elliot, came in and talked with us. We had waiver requests, approvals, and a bid. And the waiver request was for, one was Mall City Mechanical to set up a unit ventilator. This is for building and grounds, and the amount will be $6,600. The next waiver was Express Employment Services. It's temporary staffing for building and grounds, and that amount is $18,600. And the third waiver was H&G Services, backflow preventer testing for building and grounds, and the amount is $1,835. We also had a bid, and it was Mallory Safety Solutions, and we had one bid turned in, and it was for the Sheriff's Department, and the amount, $32,152.80. And that will go to the Sheriff's Department, and if it meets the things that needs to happen, then it will be passed. I'm sorry, it will be used. If not, it will come back to the Finance Committee. Then we approved our minutes, and what I would, at the end, I wanted to talk to you about Financial Services Director Doug James, General Fund Status Update. And I want to let you know that we received a report, and it's 17 pages. And I have a statement that I want to read to you. And please know, as the whole board, you'll receive this over the email. So you'll be able to look at it and study it and use it however you'd like. It says revenues excluding PCB settlement of $3,555,118 increased by $792,135 or 13%. So we're ahead of where we were last year. Of this amount, taxes are increased $101,455. Interest increased $376,080. Any governmental revenue increased $885,647, and other revenues increased $460,535. Expenditures excluding broadband activity of $707,520 increased $298,946 versus prior year, or 1%. Of this increase, personnel costs, wages and benefits increased $76,167. Net change in fund balance excluding PCB settlement and broadband is a use of fund balance of $19,990. No, 19 million, 19,990,006. And so you will receive this so that you can look at all these pages and you have questions and whatever. Get in touch with our administrator and he'll guide you or direct you or answer your question. That's our report. Oh, I'm sorry. One thing, I just flipped over here and I saw we also received an up-to-date Berrien County Road Department budget. And so,
Did I miss the contingency? She didn't talk about contingency, did she?
No, just, Madam, Chair, just real quickly, the contingency, you started out with $1 million in that.
yes.
The contingency is coming down a little bit as well. We've only got about 114,000, almost a little bit shy of 115,000 in that figure. I don't know the well and the septic and the things that you're talking about. I don't know what you're gonna need from there, but the contingency is very small at this point in time. And so, further action may be needed on the contingency at some point in time, but because I'm not sure just exactly what you're budgeting for or where you're budgeting that for.
So at this time, we're looking at an amendment to the overall budget to put cash back into contingency on the well and septic. We wouldn't construct until next fiscal year. Right now, all we're looking at is doing a site analysis to figure out what our costs will be. We'll then bake that into the next fiscal year budget so that we have cash available to construct.
All right, so that won't come out of contingency then in this year, that'll come out of regular budget next year.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Which is really great. And please know that the contingency sheet is attached to this from Doug James. And one thing, it came to me with the road department, they are $1,136,623 to the good versus a year ago. So they've done, Doug says he's seen where they've done more things and they have more money left. So wanted to share that with you. Thank you.
Questions for finance? We'll do commissioner reports then going clockwise.
The only thing I want to report is, so for the earlier part of this week, I've been out at the fair with our veteran services. I've been collaborating with them to recruit veterans for our workforce development program. And I just have to say how amazing Maureen is. I mean, so there are parts of the day where she's here working in the office and I'm there with some volunteers, and everyone stopping in, they're like, where's Maureen? Like the wonderful Maureen, and they want to talk to her, and they're telling all these stories about how she's helped them. And then when she comes in, I get to see her, you know, actually at work, and she's just so awesome. I mean, from offering the services that we offer here in Berrien County, or people coming from Indiana, she's even in touch with the veterans offices there in those counties. And she's just amazing, and she really is dedicated to the work that she does here. And I just love it when we can get something right here in Berrien County, you know, because a lot of people need our help, and if we're able to provide that help, that means we're doing something right. And they even have these pretty wristbands that because they work with Riverwood and help for depression and suicide prevention. They have these also wristbands that have you know, messages on it, and also a line that you can call or text if you're ever in need of those services. So I just enjoy my time out there, and I'll be back out there later this week. And I've also seen our other departments, our sheriff, health department, and the road department. So, you know, it's amazing what our county offers, and I just want to commend her and commend the work that our staff is doing for this county.
Great. Thank you.
Last week I participated in the Backpacks for Good down in Niles. So this was a joint effort from the Bering Community Foundation and the Community Action Agency, giving out backpacks and then also food support for people receiving a backpack.
Yes, yesterday I had the SMCAA board meeting. Cass County has created a HARA and they've served 69 people since creating that and becoming the HARA there. So we got an update on all the good work that they're doing. We are moving forward with buying the Decatur Human Services building. It's right next to the shelter that we have there. So they wanted to make sure that that area was kind of sacrosanct and put aside for all the people that we have there. It's going to be used either for our employees at SMCAA to go and have like a remote office, or if we want to build upwards later, we have that mobility. And we are getting that for $10,000. We have hired an operations director at SMCAA to replace Ashley Slack, and there's continuing conversations about the contingency plans and the succession plans that community action agencies have to have as prescribed by the national and state. The Community Corrections Advisory Board did not have a quorum, so we're meeting on August 30th, 2023 to approve county community corrections advisory boards across the state and different counties and the funding that they're requesting. I did get to go to the fair on Tuesday. Lauren did get her elephant ear that I talked about before, so I am in her good graces for about another 6 days. So I want to thank everybody at the fair. The AI committee that I'm a part of with the National Association of Counties, we are making recommendations to the House and Senate on what to do about the growing threat of AI. It is a really big problem. This is an 18-person committee. There are 6 county commissioners from across the country on it. And to my colleagues, this is a really big issue. Everything from when you go on a website and you're asking to talk to someone directly and you get that AI thing that pops back at you and then it has those 3 little bubbles like it's thinking. It's not. It's a mathematical algorithm. And we're starting to get accustomed to thinking that these computers have personalities and that we can interact with them. And we're talking about everything from how kids are going to interact with this type of software and whether or not they think that this is a friend that I can talk to about my problems, all the way to making grant applications where if one person is sitting for 8 or 9 hours writing out this application and putting their heart into it, and then someone else throws it into ChatGPT, gets a rough draft and does about 40 minutes worth of edits. How do you have equity there across different departments? How do you do it within schools when students are doing their homework through ChatGPT? This is a really big conversation, and we're excited to make these recommendations to the Congress and to kind of follow it through to see if these recommendations can be made into law. And that is my report.
I attended Southwest Michigan Planning Commission. We had a presentation from one of the associate planners on solid waste. Apparently there's a new state law that now it's not solid waste anymore, it's material management. And Dan Fetty was present during this meeting. He's aware of the law. It's going to have a definite impact on us. And so I would hope at some point in time, Brian, that maybe Dan could do a short presentation for this board. So at least we're up to speed. And if Julie wants to add something to that, there were an awful lot of we don't know yet when there were questions. So it's still in the very early stages, but it's definitely going to have an impact on the county. And that's my report.
Just real quick, staff has been in the initial review of the new rules, and we will be bringing forward a proposal asking to look at a contract, a multi-county contract where we're all partnering to better run the program, better understand the new rules. So you will see something in the very near future.
No report.
To add to that, I was at the planning commission meeting also, and it probably, when that comes forward, it would be a good idea, I think, to have Becca from Southwest Michigan Planning to come in and do a presentation so everybody is aware of what's coming, because it is a very quick timeline. The first portion of it is due in 180 days. That's 6 months. So it's very quick because it's in the 2024 state budget. So it starts in October. So that timeline will start then. And there's a lot of new requirements that are gonna cost a lot of money, because so it's another unfunded mandate, so. But they're funding the planning process, so they're calling it a funded mandate, so don't be fooled. I also attended Brownfield last week, and then Jim and I had a meeting at Rhodes this week too, and made a lot of great progress there too, so things are going well. That's my report.
Just want to fall back on what Commissioner Bell said. I visited all the departments out there, especially the road department, where I gave them a hard time about everything. That's just what I do. But no, they're doing a great job. Their display is set up really nice, and all the departments are busy. I mean, the health department, which surprised me, a lot of people interested in road department, so giving them kudos.
Last night went to the Berrien Mental Health Authority, or Riverwood, and we did not have a quorum. We're still replacing 2 members. We got one today, and we need 1 more member there. And several other people were gone. They had good reasons to be gone, but we're moving forward. I put a suggestion that we go to our quorum to be the amount of members at the board at that time instead of members total that are supposed to be committed. And they're looking at that resolution for the future. They also, because we didn't vote on much, it was a quick meeting, but we had the multi-systemic therapy and multi-systemic therapy, PSB. And the first one was MST, which is a group of people, and there's like 14 total team members. They go into the houses of major mental health children and work with them, interact with the parents and the children to stay in the home, stay in the schools, work with teachers, work with everybody so that they can bring them up to be productive in the family as they move forward. And it's, they have like 87% that work, and some of them, the parents just say, this isn't for us. But more, it is more a success than it is a failure. And it's great at moving forward. These could be brought in by a teacher, or a court, or a doctor, or a therapist. And it's a great for the Mental Health Authority. And that's all I have. That's my report.
I have no report.
Brian.
Yeah, so first I'm going to thank the fair leadership. So the youth fair hosted our department head and elected official meeting this Tuesday. I think the final count was 21. Does that sound right? 21 department heads and elected officials came out to the fair. We were greeted by fair staff, and then Corey Burke from former sheriff's deputy, current leader of the fair, or one of the leaders of the fair, actually gave us a brief history of the fair, and then it was great. We wrapped up our staff meeting and then broke for corn dogs. So it was a good good meeting. To the board, this is a reminder. The Michigan Association of Counties Conference is going to be held this year in downtown Kalamazoo. It's from October 1st through the 3rd. If any of you are desirous of attending, connect with Annette. She will make those arrangements for you. If you need any help, just let us know. And then, oh, there was something else and I just drew a blank, so I'll stop there.
Okay. General public comments now are in order. Anything under the sun, within 2 minutes preferably. Sun is out there somewhere.
Pelter Hager. I still got a complaint about that water over there. There's not enough pressure coming out of it. You got to get your mouth all the way down, almost sucking the water out of it. Now, if I go down a couple of faucets, the last one on the end, try it. The last one, turn it up, and that water come down like this. Not as much as this one here. I can't understand why that's got so much pressure and this one has nothing. Somebody not doing their job. That's an insult. I think I told you about that before. There's a public building. I already suggested it that fountain that they have down there at the where I go to sports club. They got one of those, got a filter. That's what we need. So you can put your water bottle in there and get some decent water out of it. You need one of those here and one upstairs. Then people won't have to bring any water from home. That's what you're telling me. Everybody brings their own water bottle from home. So do something. That's ridiculous. Same thing with the courthouse. Put them in there. So you spend $1,000 on that. Get somebody in here and put one here and one upstairs in the middle. And then you can get your coffee right out of there. Put a filter on there so you don't have to taste the disinfectant. I go out there, take a shower. Unbelievable. Disinfectant. I can smell it. I almost have to hold my nose when I get in that shower stall. So let's get with it, huh? I don't know what the holdup is. You're doing something for the public. That's me and him here and him. And the people that are working here. It also saves you some money too. You don't have to bring the water from home or you don't have to buy it. Let's keep going, okay?
2 minutes, sir.
Want me to loan you some money? Let me know, okay? 10% interest a day.
Thank you, Mr. Peltzer. Anyone else wish to be heard? All right, we'll go to other business. Before we hear from corporate counsel, I just wanted to acknowledge, say hi to Don Meeks, who has joined us this morning.
You want me to stand up or what you want me to do?
No, we see you. We're good. It's good to see you.
Since I left here, I just got pretty deaf. My hearing has got really bad.
Okay,
So.
well, we'll speak loudly.
I can kind of figure out what you're saying.
All right, Mr. Peltzer will let you know if you know.
You know, sometimes.
Yeah. All right, corporate counsel.
Members of the board, by way of background, there is a Superfund site in Detroit, Michigan, formerly operated by Detrex Corporation. It is now contamination response activities that are required by Eagle. They estimate that these costs will approach $10 million in total for all Eagle required response activities. Now, that's the background. Under federal law, CERCLA, any entity, business or other entity that provided hazardous substances to a site that requires these kinds of response activities is a potentially responsible party and could be required to contribute in strict liability, so would be required to contribute to the cleanup costs. We received a few weeks ago a letter from the current owner, from the attorneys on behalf of the current owner, which is Trex Properties LLC. They have indicated an intent to file suit against all entities that they're able to identify that contributed hazardous substances to the site, as is they have the ability to do under CERCLA to contribute to the payment of the cleanup costs. The letter indicated that alleged that the Berrien County Road Commission contributed hazardous substances to the site about 30 years ago. We've now reviewed the letter also indicated that in exchange for a payment of $10,000 from the county, the current owner would release the county and the road commission from all claims of liability associated with CERCLA, would indemnify the county and the road commission from all claimants by other parties related to chemicals at the site, and under which the road commission and the county would admit no liability. After reviewing the facts, the law, and having discussions with experts in environmental litigation at Warner Norcross, it's my strong recommendation that we enter into the $10,000 settlement agreement with Trex Properties LLC.
Which committee would this come out of? I'm assuming we would do a resolution.
Well, normally we would, thanks for bringing that up. The settlement offer expires at the end of the month. They've sent these letters out to public and private entities all across, well, the state and I'm sure other states as well. They are not open to any negotiations with respect to the settlement agreement. They have indicated that anyone who does not sign on to the settlement agreement by the end of this month and provide the payment under the settlement agreement, they will file suit naming those entities as defendants. The issue with this case is really about the cost of defense. So there may be defenses that the county has related to the amount of damages, but those defenses would require us to undergo extensive discovery. The cost of litigation would quickly dwarf any savings we would hope to accomplish by litigating. So, sorry to jump back. So I'm asking if the board is willing for a motion today to authorize the settlement so that we can enter into the agreement and make the payment prior to the expiration of the deadline.
Questions, comments?
I'm prepared to make a motion to that effect if you're ready for it.
Well, let's go around the horseshoe first and see if anyone has any questions.
Okay.
So you proved that the county actually 30 years ago contributed to that site?
Well, that's their allegation. And in open session, all I'm willing to say is that it's a reasonable allegation. Yeah.
I was here then, but I don't recall. I don't recall, Senator. So if there aren't any other questions, comments, you want to make that motion?
I do. I move that we authorize the county administrator to execute a settlement agreement with Trex Properties LLC following legal review and approval by corporate counsel.
May I support it?
Dave beat you.
Oh, okay,
So, moved by Curran, supported by Volrath. You can support the next one.
okay.
Any discussion again? No. Yes, sir.
Signing with this company, is this gonna be okay with the super fund? I mean, what?
Well, this is under CERCLA, the Comprehensive Environmental Response Law. And I don't know if this was designated a Superfund site. I don't think it was.
No, it's not on the priority list.
Yeah. So this would give us closure.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Want to do a roll call, Madam Clerk?
Harrison,
Yes.
Hinkleman,
Yes.
Majerick,
Yes.
Ott,
Yes.
Pitchford,
Yes.
Walrath,
Yes.
Werfel. Yes. Yarborough,
Yes.
Bell,
Yes.
Curran,
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes,
Mr. Chair, you have 11 yeas.
thank you. Thaddeus, does that cover it? Okay, thank you.
Oh, I'm
Ma'am,
sorry.
no, yes,
Is
ma'am.
this a person or is it a company? Is it?
Company.
It's a company that owns the site now and is
Because the
undertaking.
city's gonna be rich with rights.
If they've already spent over $1 million on cleanup and they're not done, they're taking on a pretty heavy load.
But it'd be easier. This is what we just did.
Yeah, yeah. Any other business? Yes, sir.
To the board, I've forwarded an invite to you all from Whirlpool Corporation. If you're going, you need to just respond to the email and RSVP with Whirlpool. That is tomorrow at 10:15 a.m. at their tech center. So if you want to go, take a look at your email and respond to them.
Ribbon cutting.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay, anyone have anything else? A reminder to us and to Mr. Peltzer and anyone else interested, that the board's not meeting on the 31st because it's the 5th Thursday, but we will be here next week. And if you don't have anything else, we stand adjourned to 8:35 next Thursday. Thank you.